Hi there, my name is Scott Duffy from Hero Courses, and this is the Frequently Asked Questions series for the Azure 70-532 exam, Developing Microsoft Azure Solutions. This is the 6th video in this series. If you haven't caught any of the first 5, maybe after this you should go back and catch up with this. Today's video, I'm going to answer the question, can you learn enough about Microsoft Azure to pass the 70-532 exam for free? Using only free tools and only using the Microsoft free account, can you do it? Well, the answer is probably yes. A lot of people can do it if you set yourself up with the right things in advance and you have a specific learning plan. You might be able to get that all done. So you do not need to purchase a book. You do not need to purchase a course. Not need to go in person and to attend training classes in a local training center. You probably could do it yourself. This is what I think you need to do that. So first of all, I think you do need to come from a development background to pass this development test. This particular exam seems to be focused on interfacing with Microsoft Azure from a developer's perspective. It includes a lot of coding questions. It includes questions in languages other than C#, and so you need to have a little bit of familiarity. I think understanding the way that applications are designed, the components of applications, the ways that programming languages tend to be formatted these days is going to give you a leg up. And so if you don't have any programming background and you do not understand how applications are even designed in a on-premises or in a local environment, that's going to be you're going to be starting from behind the start line instead of in front of the start line. You can get Microsoft Visual Studio .NET for free. They do have a community edition. I'm showing it to you now on screen. You can see that you can download the community edition for free, get that installed in your local computer, and get that hooked up so that you're working with code that integrates into Azure natively. You will need a Microsoft Azure account. Microsoft does offer $200 in credits for the first 30 days, plus 12 months of access to certain free things. After 12 months, there is a free tier that is lower than that as well. So they do have a set of free services that you can get, but you will need to sign up for an account for free to get that. I do think you need a credit card to sign up for that. They won't allow you to sign up for an account without a credit card, but they won't charge you until you authorize it. You're going to want to have the Azure SDK for multiple different languages. Now, when you download Visual Studio Community Edition, you'll be prompted to install the Azure SDK for .NET, and I would suggest that you say yes. If you didn't do that, you can download the SDK independently for .NET. You can download the SDK for Command Line Interface, CLI. You can get the PowerShell SDK. You can get Java or Node.js. Get to playing with connecting to Azure from these different languages, how to interact with a web app, how to interact with a storage account, some of the basics, and focus on one particular language, is probably one of the .NET languages, but you should have a broader understanding of how developers interface with the .NET, with Azure. Now, that's just the setup parts, right? These first 4. The next 4 have to do with the specifics of this exam. So first thing you need to do is go to the official Microsoft website for 70-532, enter google.com and go 70-532 in the search results. You'll see this page come up in the first result, and those are the requirements for this exam. What you want to do is you want to go through each of these one by one and start looking at the official Microsoft documentation for each topic. And so you go into the Microsoft, go to your favorite search engine again, search for the topics, find the Microsoft documentation for it. Microsoft does a very good job of keeping their documentation up to date. And if you ever do find something that is no longer true or is out of date, they have a whole team. They have dozens of people who are responsible for keeping documentation up to date. Okay, so they absolutely will unpublish stuff or change stuff. You'll see the last updated date on these documents are always very recent. So the documentation is great. You will also need to watch some free videos on YouTube. Now, you're watching one here. That's great. But you might want to look out for the Microsoft Ignite conference video on this course. You might want to look out for any of these longer 1-hour webinars on this topic. And finally, you will want to spend a lot of time working with Azure. You do absolutely need to do some coding, to do some creating of resources within the portal, and you need to get your hands dirty. I do not think that you can pass this exam just by watching videos and just by reading a book. I don't think you can. So with no experience, I would even say with no experience, you can't pass the test. So get in there, play with it, get the free account, and play away and read the documentation, try some stuff. I also believe in projects, so I think you should come up with some ideas yourself in terms of creating yourself a working website, creating yourself a, integrating with Azure Active Directory in terms of creating a website where people can register for an account and log in and have a profile. Create a project for yourself, and that's probably the best way to learn. Now, this is the end of the video. I do have a number of courses on Udemy platform relating to Microsoft Azure, including the certification exam for 70-532. The link is in the description. I wish you would come and check it out. Thank you very much. Look out for my rest of the videos in this frequently asked questions series. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Would love to hear from you. Thanks a lot. Take care.